Okay, the demand and supply function for maize in southern province of Zambia given by PD equals 120 minus 0.4 QD, supply function PS equals 40 plus 0.6 QS. Calculate the equilibrium price and quantity and what would be the effect of introducing a price floor of 80 kwacha in this market. Okay, so I'll need your participation, colleagues. Even though you never understood this, but I still need your participation, okay? Yes. Colleagues, what is the first thing that we need to do here? Anybody? What is the first thing that we need to do? Okay, and what is that formula, madam? Thank you for your contribution. What's that formula? Okay, PD usually represents what the consumers pay, and PS represents what the suppliers receive. So, yes, okay. You equate the demand function and the supply function. If Q was the subject of the formula, it would have been you equate QD equals QS. Okay, colleagues, this is the first thing you do with these type of questions. Because at equilibrium, the quantity demanded is equal to the quantity supplied. All right, that's why we're equating them, because at equilibrium, QD, PD is equal to PS. Any questions before we start the calculations? Okay, so we equate. So you're going to say PD equals, oh, we've already done that. So this demand function 120 minus 0.4 Q. Now remember, QD is equal to QS at equilibrium. So here you don't need to put QD and QS. Okay, because as you are solving, you find now a point where you've got a QD and you've got a QS. And then you'll be like, now I'm confused. There are two variables which I can't solve. Okay, so when you equate them, just put them as Q. Okay, we equate like terms together. So here 120 stays. This negative 0.4 Q crosses over the equal sign. This positive 40 also will cross over the equal sign. It becomes minus 40. Give up 0.6 Q plus 0.4 Q. 120 minus 40, that gives us 8. 0.6 plus 0.4, that is a Q. Okay, or 1 Q. Okay, but usually when it's 1, you don't even need to write it. Okay, so Q, remember Q, QD and QS are the same. So quantity demanded and quantity supplied at equilibrium is 80 units. Okay, any questions? What is the next thing we need to do then? Okay. Yes. So which equation, madam? You can choose for us. Which one? PD equals 120 minus 0.4. Okay, so we substitute QD with 80. Okay, 80 here. All right, so 0.4 times 80, what do we get? 32. 120 minus 32. 88. Madam, didn't you have these answers already? The way you're saying it. Hmm. Hey, okay. I should have said, sir, me have already solved. I can even do the presentations. Hmm? Okay, 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 okay. No, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. So we've got our equilibrium price and quantity. In the equation, you don't need to draw this graph. Okay, you don't need to draw this graph. So are we all clear on that part? Okay. So now government introduces a price floor of 80 kwacha. Colleagues, what's a price floor? Oh, yes, 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 yes. Wait. Price ceiling is the one which is below. Price floor is the one which price floor is the one which is above. Price ceiling is the maximum. And yes, and price ceiling. So I was saying that price ceiling is the one which is below. Price floor is the one which is above the equilibrium quantity. I mean the equilibrium price. Now here it's saying 80 kwacha, but the equilibrium price is 88. So there should have been a typo error. Because price ceiling is the maximum that can be charged. Okay, and the price when the price ceiling, it benefits who? The customers, right? The price ceiling is the one which is below the equilibrium price. Then the price floor is the one which is the mixing up with it. Price ceiling maximum, price floor minimum. So price floor should be on top of the equilibrium price here. So I have to change this amount because the price floor has to be higher than the equilibrium price. Okay, the equilibrium price is 88 kwacha. Okay, and the price floor has to be above equilibrium, not below. Okay, so colleagues, can I make that adjustment here? Can I make that adjustment? The price floor always above equilibrium. Then price ceiling is the one which is below here. Okay. Price floor minimum. Price ceiling is the maximum. Okay. So can I just make the adjustment here, colleagues? Maybe I make it 180. Hello, can I make that adjustment? Have we understood what's happening here? A price floor, okay? The price floor will usually be above the equilibrium price, okay? Then the price ceiling will be the one below the equilibrium price. Since price ceiling is the maximum, so this is the limit it can go to. Then since the price floor is the minimum, it means it can go upwards, okay? So let's use a price floor of 180 basically, so that it can be in line with the question. Or I can change this to into a price ceiling. So which one will be better, colleagues? We leave the 80 kwacha and we take it as a price ceiling. Or we use the 180 kwacha and take it as a price floor. Which one will be better? Or we do both? Which one will be better, Madam Lily? Should we use a price floor of 180 or we make that a price ceiling of 80 kwacha? Mr. Miova, Mr. Fumbeshi. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We are going to do both. We're going to use a price ceiling and a price floor. Okay. So in this question here, we'll say this 80 kwacha is the price ceiling. Okay. Maximum amount that can be charged. You can't go above that price. So we'll say this is a price ceiling of 80 kwacha. And then we also put a price floor of 180 kwacha, so that we look at them both. So we'll start with the price ceiling of 80 kwacha. The price ceiling of 80 kwacha is enacted. What is going to happen first? Whenever government puts in a price ceiling, what usually happens? Do we have a shortage or do we have a surplus, and who benefits when a price ceiling is enacted? Oh, it's actually for a price ceiling, it's the consumers who benefit. Yes, because government, this is the price floor. The price floor, it will say you suppliers you can charge. This is the minimum amount you can charge, and you can go over it. But for the price ceiling, they're telling you this is the maximum amount you can charge, and you can't go above this maximum amount. Yes, price ceiling. Okay. If mini meal is going at 385 now, right? If government says okay, we've put a price ceiling on mini meal and they say a price ceiling of 200 kwacha, meaning the millers can't sell mini meal above 200 kwacha. It will mean who's benefiting us because the mini meal is now cheaper, right? So if there's a price ceiling, quantity demanded is going to exceed quantity supplied. Since the good is now cheaper, we can more people want to buy. It's now affordable. Okay. But now to the supplier side, at that maximum amount government has given them, you find they won't be able to cover their operational costs. Okay, so some might start laying off workers now, producing less. Others will even stop producing at all because they won't be able to cover their costs with that. It will be too low, the price which government is giving them as the maximum. So with this price ceiling, one find out how much quantity will be demanded and how much quantity will be supplied. So we see how much of a shortage there will be. So how do we find out how much quantity is demanded and how much quantity is supplied with this price ceiling of 80 kwacha? We substitute this 80 kwacha into the demand and supply functions. So for your demand function, okay, PD is going to be 80 kwacha equals 120 minus 0.4 QD. That's how you're going to find out how much quantity is demanded. Then for the supply function, PS, you substitute it with 80. Get 0.6 QS. Okay, that's how much you'll be able, that's how we'll be able to find how much quantity will be demanded, how much quantity is going to be supplied. Okay, so let's solve for QD. So this negative 0.4 QD, we can take it over the equal sign, and this 80 can also bring it to this side. So here we're going to have 0.4 QD equals 120 minus, no, yeah, minus 8, yeah. Oh, let me make space for this here. So 0.4 QD here. So 120 minus 80, what do we get? What? 0.4 divided by 40. 40 divided by 0.4. Isn't it? Are we getting, let's see, 40 divided by 0.4? 100. Yes, so quantity demanded is 100. Any questions before we go and get the quantity supplied? So for quantity supplied, again here it's I think it was 80 minus 40 plus 0.6 QS. Okay, so this 40 we can just take it over this side. So 80 minus 40 equals 0.6 QS. So 80 minus 40, that is 40. To get the quantity supplied, we divide both sides by 0.6. 66.6 QS equals. So we can just round it off to 67. So as you can see, with the price ceiling, quantity demanded is going to be greater than quantity supplied. So we are going to have a shortage. A shortage of how many units? So you say 100 minus 67, 33 units. Okay, shortage of 33 units. Yes, so any questions? Yes, so remember, price ceiling, who benefits? The consumers. And you have a shortage if a price ceiling is enacted, because the ones who will be at a disadvantage will be the suppliers. Then let's look at now the price flow. Okay. Let's say if a price flow of 180 has been introduced, meaning the price flow, this is the minimum that can be charged. So suppliers can charge above 180 if they want. So who's benefiting from the price flow? Yes. So let's calculate, and we calculate the surplus that's going to be there. Because what we're going to see with the price flow, quantity supplied is going to outweigh quantity demanded. Okay? If you remember, according to the law of supply, when the price of the good that you're selling increases, you, as a seller, you want to sell more so that you can make more revenue. Okay? So to get the quantity demanded with the price flow, so what are we going to do to get the quantity demanded with the price flow? Our demand function, PD, substitute it with 180. 180 equals 120 minus 0.4 QD. We solve. So again, this negative 0.4 QD, we can take it over this side. 0.4 QD. I use the big amount. This one will get a negative value. Maybe let me make the price flow 100 so that we don't get negative values here. So we'll say a price flow of 100 kwacha. Because this 180, when we bring it this side, 120 minus 180, you get negative 40. Okay. And with these demand functions, you don't want negative values. So we'll use 100 here. Bring this 100 over the equal sign. So of 120 minus 100. One 120 minus 100, that is 20. So to get our quantity demanded, (20 divided by 0.4), 50 units. So if a price flow of 100 kwacha has been put, quantity demanded is going to be 50 units. Any questions before we get the quantity supplied? Okay, quantity supplied, PS, we substitute it with 100. Equals 40 plus 0.6 QS. So here we just need to take the 40 over the equal sign. It's 100 minus 40 equals 0.6 QS. 100 minus 40, that is 60. To get QS, you're going to say divide both sides by 0.6. So quantity supplied, 60 divided by 0.6, that is 100 units. So with the price flow, quantity supplied is going to exceed quantity demanded, meaning we're going to have a surplus. Okay. Suppliers are producing a lot, but what they're selling is expensive. So people will be buying less of the goods. So So in this case here, we're going to have a surplus of 50 units. Any questions?